Hello friends, welcome to the lecture of functional analysis. In today's lecture, we are trying to complete the last theorem of closed graph theorem. Let me share my screen and we will just check what we have completed in the last lecture. In last lecture, we have seen the basics which are required for us to understand the closed graph theorem. First, we have seen what is the graph. We know that graph will be a collection of ordered pair of the type xtx, right? Therefore, this is called as a graph of a mapping T, collection of all ordered pairs. I'll write here collection of all ordered pair x T of x on the condition x is an element of the domain space is called as graph and is denoted by graph of a mapping T is denoted by TG. Okay. Also, we have seen a definition of mapping is closed. A mapping is closed. In short, one can say that if the domain is closed and T is a continuous mapping. Also, an important theorem we have seen that if n and n dash are the nonlinear spaces, we have seen that the Cartesian product is also a nonlinear space. That is, n cross n dash is a nonlinear space. Also, it is complete if both the spaces n and n dash are complete. Also, one more theorem we have completed is for any nonlinear space n and n dash, linear transformation mapping T is a linear transformation is closed if and only if its graph is closed. Okay, let me make again a statement. A linear transformation T is closed if and only its graph TG is closed. Okay, now let us come to the statement of closed graph theorem in today's lecture along with its proof. The statement of this theorem is, let us write the statement. Let B and B dash are the Banach spaces. B and B dash are Banach spaces and T be a linear transformation. T be a linear transformation of B into B dash. No doubt. B into B dash. Full stop. Then prove that. What to prove in this theorem? Then prove that T is continuous mapping, or T is continuous only, you can write. For T is a continuous mapping if and only its a graph, if and only its graph is closed. Its graph is closed. Okay, here we want to prove the theorem in two parts. Mapping is continuous if and only if its a graph is closed. Okay, we are no doubt we are going to use the previous theorem in our hand. Let me go for the first part, say only if part. Okay, no doubt the result should be proved in two different parts, part 1 and part 2. In first part, let us make an assumption, let T be continuous. Let T be a continuous mapping. Then what will be our aim to prove? The graph of this T is closed. Therefore, what we want to prove that? To prove that the graph of a mapping, let me denote it by TG. Therefore, our aim is to show that TG is closed. TG is closed. Now we know the properties of the closed sets, not that the set is contained in its closure always, but in order to prove it is closed, we will show that the closure is contained in the set itself. Or one can say that the set contains all its limit point. Therefore, we will start with an arbitrary limit point of the set TG and we will show that the limit point is in the same set, right? Therefore, let us start with an arbitrary point, say xy I will write. Okay, graph is a subset of n cross n dash, right? Therefore, this will be every element in that graph is a ordered pair. Therefore, let xy be a limit point of the set Tg. If it is a limit point, what does it mean? That there exists a sequence in Tg which converges to xy. Therefore, shall I write? Hence there exists a sequence. I'll write the sequence as say xn, and what will be the corresponding y coordinate? It is txn, because we are selecting this to be a sequence in tg. Na? Therefore, according to the definition of tg, what we have, according to the definition of tg, we should have first element x coordinate as a vector where the y coordinate is corresponding t image. Therefore, this is a sequence in tg such that, what such that the sequence converges to xy. Let me go to a next page. Therefore, here I'll write the sequence xn txn converges to xy as n tends to infinity. Xn converges to xn txn converges to xy as n tends to infinity. Now already we have seen whenever we have this kind of situation, or rather we have proved n cross n dash is a product topology. Therefore, one can write down very easily that xn converges to x and txn converges to y, no doubt, as n tends to infinity. Now we will make the use of the assumption. But what is the assumption? Since t is continuous. If t is continuous, what it gives us? Xn converges to x implies txn converges to t of x. Right now? As t is continuous, txn converges to t of x as n tends to infinity. Let me call this as statement number 1 and let me call this as statement number 2. Now look at statement number 1. Txn converges to y. Here in statement number 2, txn converges to t of x. Therefore, from 1 and 2, one can write the value of y is nothing but t of x. The value of y is t of x. Therefore, whatever is the ordered pair we have started initially as a limit point. Therefore, that we can write as x, y we will replace by t of x. And whenever we have an ordered pair of the type x t of x, no doubt it is an element of the graph. Therefore, we have started with xy as a limit point of tg and we have shown that xy belongs to tg. Therefore, tg contains all its limit points. Therefore, tg contains all its limit points. Hence, tg is closed. Therefore, this gives us the set tg is closed. The set tg is closed. This is here we have completed with the first part of the proof. Now let us go to the second part. Now in the second part we will make the reverse assumptions. Right. Therefore, in this if part, we will assume that Tg is, let this set Tg, that is a graph, is a closed set. And what is our aim to prove? The mapping T is continuous. The mapping T is continuous. Okay. Now, in order to prove the mapping T is continuous, here we are going to use the another criteria for writing the proof. For this, first job we will do is we will renorm the linear space B. Okay. Actually, already we know that this is B norm. Right now, this is B norm. That is, this norm is a norm on B. This we know already. Right. Now what we will do? We will try to renorm. That is, we will define another norm on this linear space B, with the help of which it will be easy for us to prove the mapping is continuous. Therefore, here we will renorm. Okay. Therefore, what we will do? Let us renorm the linear space B. The linear space B. Okay. And after renorming, let us denote it by say B1. Therefore, what is my B1? B1 is the linear space B. Let us use the another notation for the norm, say norm 1. Therefore, norm 1 is the another norm where we will define the norm as, where norm 1 is defined by, norm 1 is defined by. Okay, now we will define the norm 1 of x as norm of x plus norm of its t image. Norm of x plus norm of its T image. Now here we are not going to check whether it is going to form a norm. That is, instead of checking all the properties, we can directly say here that this norm one is a norm. One can verify all those properties orally, or I can change the color of my pen in order to show you all the properties, right? What is the first property to show norm 1 of x is greater equal by 0? Now what we have, as these two are the norms defined on B and on B dash. Therefore, may I say norm x is greater equal by 0. Norm T of x is greater equal by 0. Okay. The statements which I am writing in pink pen not necessary to include in the proof. This is for our sake of understanding. Therefore, if these two norms are non-negative, therefore norm 1 of x is non-negative. Second condition, what to prove actually? Norm 1 of x is equal to 0 implied is an implied by x is equals to 0. Now let us start with norm 1 of x is equals to 0. What is norm 1 of x? Here it is norm x plus norm of t of x. Actually, no need to write those steps. One can verify those steps orally also. Now here we have the sum of two non-negative terms is 0. Therefore, each individual must be 0. Therefore, which gives us norm x is equals to 0. Norm of t of x is equals to 0. Norm x is equals to 0 will give x is equals to 0 because it is a norm defined on the Banach space V. Okay. What is the third property to prove? The third property we should prove is norm 1 of x plus y less than or equals to norm 1 of x plus norm 1. According to the definition, this is norm of x plus y plus norm of its t image. Norm of its t image. But we know this is the norm defined on B and this is the norm defined on B dash. Therefore, just let me use linearity first for this t in order to use the triangular inequality. Therefore, this is t of x plus t of y. Right. Now let us use triangular inequality defined on B and B dash respectively. Let me just insert the pages. Yeah. We are there on page number 11. Right. Yes. Now here we will just use triangular inequality to say that norm of x plus y is less than or equals to norm of x plus norm of y. And here I can write norm of t of x plus norm of t of y using the triangular inequality on B and on B dash respectively. Therefore, let me just collect x and t of x together. Therefore, this is norm x plus norm of t of x. Let me put it in one bracket, and here norm y plus norm of t of y. Let me put it in one bracket. Now, according to the definition, this is norm 1 of x and this is norm 1 of y. Therefore, we have started with norm 1 of x plus y, which we have proved less than or equals to norm 1 of x plus norm 1 of y. Right? Hence, triangular inequality holds in this case. Now, let us go to the last, that is fourth property to prove. I'll just repeat again whatever I'm writing to prove this norm 1 is a norm 1b. No need to include it in the proof, right? Therefore, let us prove the last property norm 1 of alpha x. And our aim is to prove that this is equals to mod alpha into norm 1 of x. Let us just use the definition. This is norm of alpha x plus norm of its t image, right? Therefore, this is norm of alpha x, I'll write. And here we will use the linearity property of t. Linearity tells us this is alpha into t of x. Now, let us use norm, fourth condition of norm on b and b dash. Therefore, taking this mod, this scalar out with the modulus. Therefore, this is mod alpha into norm of x and this is also mod alpha into norm of t of x. Taking mod alpha common, we will get this as norm of x plus norm of t of x, right? Therefore, this is mod alpha into norm 1 of x. Hence, we have proved that whatever the new norm we have defined is a norm on V. Is a norm on B, and here I'll complete the proof of that new norm. Okay, now I'll change the color of my pen again. Therefore, what we have done, we have renormed the space B with another norm. Let us define it as B with norm 1 is a normed linear space. Is a normed linear space. Now what the job we will try to do? We will try to prove T is continuous. Now if I look, continuous means boundedness because it is linearity already we have. Therefore now if I write norm of T of x uh, is equal to norm of T of, right? Now what I will do? I will add a non-negative quantity on the right. Say norm x. Therefore the equality becomes inequality. But this is norm of T of x. But this right side is nothing but norm 1 of x. Therefore if we observe very carefully, we have obtained a relation of this type. Norm T of x is less than or equals to m into norm of x, which is the definition of the mapping T is bounded actually. Therefore here this is a norm defined on B1. Therefore the codomain is B1 and domain is B dash. Therefore may I write this implies T is bounded and hence continuous, but hence continuous as a mapping from from B1 to B dash. Okay, but what is our original mapping? Our original mapping is from B to B dash, right? This mapping is B to B dash, which we want to prove continuous or bounded. But we have obtained B1 to B dash to be continuous. Therefore, the job we will do, we will try to prove that these two B and B1 have same topologies. That is proving these two are homeomorphic. Proving these two sets are homeomorphic. Now, in order to prove the two sets are homeomorphic, we will define one mapping between B and B1. But as we know already, B and B1 are nothing but the same linear spaces normed with different norms, right? Therefore, which mapping will be most suitable for us? Identity mapping will be most suitable for us. Therefore, here I will write. Now we have to show that. B and B1 have same topology. B and B1 have same topology. Then T will be continuous. T will be continuous as a mapping from B to B dash. Right? Now, in order to prove that this B and B1 are going to have same topologies, therefore we will show that, or we will prove that B and B1 are homeomorphic. Right? Now in order to prove this to be homeomorphic, we will consider or will define the identity. Consider identity mapping. Try to understand why we were using identity mapping, because both the spaces B and B1 are same spaces, but the change is in the norms defined. Therefore I will define the mapping identity from B1 to B defined by I of x is equal to x for all x in B1. Now as I am defining identity, may I say that I is 1, 1 and on 2 obviously. I is 1, 1 and on 2. Obviously we will check whether I is bounded or not. For this we will consider norm of an identity mapping I of x, which is equal to norm of x, no doubt, but we know this norm of x is less equal by norm of x plus norm of T of x, a non-negative quantity added on the right. But this is nothing but norm 1 of x. If what we have shown, norm of I of x is less equal by norm 1 of x. Okay, this shows that I is bounded and hence continuous, because I is linear always, as a mapping from B1 to B, rather B1 on to B. Right? Now see how many conditions I has satisfied. I as a mapping from B1 to B. We have said this is 1, 1 on 2 bounded oblique continuous array, and no doubt it will be linear. Okay, therefore if we have these many results or properties for an identity mapping from B1 to B, then by Banach's theorem it is homeomorphism. But for the need to use a Banach's theorem, what we want the domain space to be Banach space. We have codomain to be Banach. I'll just recall what is Banach's theorem. What is Banach's theorem? Okay, Banach's theorem is let B and B dash be the Banach spaces. Okay, and T be 1, 1 continuous, linear, and onto. How many properties T has? 1, 1 continuous, linear, onto from B to B dash. Then T is homeomorphism. We have proved this in this Banach's theorem. Now here I is going to have all the properties 1, 1 continuous, linearity, onto. But the first condition as we want B and B dash domain codomain should be Banach spaces. Here we have codomain as a Banach space, but we don't have a guarantee about B1. Just now we have proved that B1 is a nonlinear space. Therefore, if we prove B1 to be complete, that is Banach space, then by Banach's theorem, I will be homeomorphism and B1 and B will have the same topologies. Therefore, what is our aim to prove that? Okay, hence, if we prove B1 is complete, B1 is complete with respect to norm 1. With respect to norm 1, then B1 is Banach space. B1 is Banach space, and by Banach's theorem, I becomes homeomorphism. I becomes homeomorphism, right? This is the Banach's theorem. Now the last step we will follow is to prove this B1 is complete under the norm 1. Therefore, let us start to prove that B1 is complete with respect to norm 1. For that, let us start with one Cauchy sequence in B1 and we will try to prove that it is going to converge in the same space. Therefore, let us start with Xn be a Cauchy sequence. In B1. If it is a Cauchy sequence, what we will use a definition? Norm 1 of Xn minus Xm. How can I define this as? Norm of Xn minus Xm added with norm of its T image. Right? This is by the definition of norm 1. Here I will write by definition of norm 1. Okay, now nor as this is a Cauchy sequence, this will tend to 0, that is norm 1 of Xn minus Xm tends to 0 as Mn tends to infinity. Therefore here, what about the right side? Right side will also tends to 0 as Mn tends to infinity, but this right side is the sum of two non-negative terms. Sum is tending to 0. Therefore, may I say individually both the norms will tend to 0. Hence, can I write norm of Xn minus Xm tends to 0 and norm of the T image. Now, let us use linearity. May I write this as norm of Txn minus Txm tends to 0 as Mn tends to infinity. Now, what will happen if these two norms, norm Xn minus Xm tends to 0? May I say that this implies this Xn is Cauchy sequence in B, right? And what about Txn? Txn is a Cauchy sequence in B dash, but B and B dash are the Banach spaces, therefore but B and B dash are complete. Therefore these sequences are going to converge to a point in the same space. Therefore may I write, we have what we have, xn converges to x in B and txn converges to y in B dash. Okay, now with this, may I write the sequence xn txn converges to xy, xn txn converges to xy, but this is a sequence in tg, therefore xy becomes a limit point. Now let us use the assumption we have made that the graph tg is closed. Therefore here xy is limit point of tg, right now, because the sequence xn txn is no doubt a sequence in tg which is converging to xy, therefore xy is a limit point, but tg is closed. This is given, tg is closed, therefore we will write xy is in tg. If xy is in tg, may I write y is equal to t of x. If y is equals to t of x, let us go to prove that the sequence xn converges to x with respect to norm 1. Therefore what is the claim? The sequence xn converges to x with respect to norm 1. Actually we have proved that this is converges with respect to norm only, right? But now it is with respect to norm 1. For that purpose we will try to show, as xn converges to x is the aim, we will show that norm 1 of xn minus x is tending to 0. Therefore let me consider norm 1 of xn minus x, and according to the definition this is norm of xn minus x added with the norm of its t image, norm of its t image. Therefore this is norm xn minus x added with norm of txn minus t of x. But here we can observe very easily. Okay, here I'll replace this y, norm of xn minus x plus norm of txn minus this is y. But already we have seen that xn converges to x and txn converges to y, where we have written here. This is by 3 say. Okay, therefore by 3 both xn converges to x, txn converges to y. Therefore may I say this is 0 as n tends to infinity. Reason is by equation number 3, by statement number 3. Therefore norm 1 of xn minus x converges, norm 1 of xn minus x tends to 0. It implies the sequence xn is converges, xn converges to x in B1, because the element is in B. B1 and B are same, elements are same, only the changes in the norms. Therefore here we have shown B1 is complete. Here we have shown that B1 is complete. If B1 is complete, already we have shown that this T is continuous from B1 to B dash, therefore which gives us T is now continuous from, this implies T is continuous from B to B dash, and hence it is a proof of the closed graph theorem. Very interesting proof of this closed graph theorem we have completed today. The proof was given with a different approach, renorming the same space and using the homeomorphism, or rather by Banach's theorem we have given the proof of this closed graph theorem. I hope you have understood this today's lecture. In our next lecture we are going to understand what is the projection on a Banach space. Before that one should know what is the projection. Actually we have seen orthogonal projection etc. In our graduation level. Therefore just try to recall those points of projection we have studied on the linear spaces, and then in next lecture we will go in detail what is the projection on the Banach space also. Hope to see you all again in the classes. Okay, Therefore, let me stop here. I hope you have understood the lecture. Thank you for watching today's lecture.